have the social clubs. Now you have grows that can be up to 1,500 plants. And then at the end of the year, you're going to have pilot projects, which will be recreational dispensaries then, not under the social club model, but under the pilot project model, much like what Switzerland's doing right now. So Germany's the king of, I mean, and you know, it's kind of ironic that Germany, which we think there's all this order in Germany, is doing this social club model, which many of my, you know, esteemed German professional colleagues are like, this is willy-nilly, you know, you can't regulate, you know, it's like it's nonprofit social clubs. And what is this? You know, for a head like me from Oregon and how we came up, we pushed the envelope. You know, we had dispensaries before dispensaries were legal.
We are back with our preview, our intimate, up close and personal introduction to some of the men and the women behind the curtains of these conferences that we rely on to network and to find business opportunities and to educate ourselves about what's happening in this emerging cannabis industry. And there is no more important conference in Europe than the ICBC show. And Europe is an amazing place in regards to the cannabis industry growth. If you haven't been out there, I highly recommend it. But let me real quickly introduce you to the man behind the curtain and the founder of ICBC. Alex, how you doing today?
I'm good, Demitri. How you doing?
Where in the world are you today?
I am in Ljubljana, Slovenia, where I live. I'm lucky enough to live in this magical country.
That's awesome. And you know, it's appropriate that you live in Europe. I mean, you are the expert out there and you're on the forefront of things. You predicted Germany years ago, and it's just been so exciting to get to know you and your conference, ICBC, over the years. What's happening with ICBC this year? What are you guys' plans?
Well, we have a few different events. Our next event's going to be March 14th, the day before Cannabis. There's separate events, but we have a great partnership with Cannabis, and we do our one-day event there on the grounds of Cannabis at the Auditori de Cornella. And then we have the ICBC Berlin, April 16th and 17th, which is the biggest B2B event in the Eastern Hemisphere for cannabis. The day before that, we have the Tallman Group Global Investment Forum. And then we have our annual research and development event coming up in Slovenia, September 13th.
And, you know, just from personal experience, that starting with the Cannabis March 14th, and then the ICBC on the beginning, right, the day before Cannabis, that is a must go to couple of events to me if you are interested in the European cannabis market or interested in just expanding your understanding of cannabis in general. It's just such a fantastic vibe. It's so perfectly set up with your B2B for one day, and then this hodgepodge of B2B, B2C, which we're familiar with, called Cannabis, and you're in Barcelona. I mean, it's like a no-brainer.
No, I mean, we formed this partnership about 5 years ago with Cannabis, and I just kept pinching myself because they were such a legendary event, especially for us heads from back in the day. It was kind of like the Cannabis Cup was the big event for so many years in Amsterdam. And then Cannabis started in the midst of that. And then there was this crossover when the coffee shop scene in Cannabis, in Barcelona or Spain started. And it was kind of dissipating in Amsterdam. A lot of the government was against it, saying there's too many of them. We need to reduce it. For a while, they were talking about having, I forget, some pass that you have to be Dutch to go to a coffee shop. Of course, some of those things succeeded, some of those things didn't. But whilst all that was happening, Barcelona, the whole coffee shop scene, the whole underground scene, if you will, was coming up in Spain big time. So Cannabis is a legendary event, and yeah, it's Cannabis week, and we're just really happy to be part of that and to be the B2B element of that.
Yeah, there's so much to be learned. I mean, European cannabis. I mean, I've been to like 6 or 7 shows out there. and I'm still acquiring my knowledge. But European cannabis is evolving, and one of the nice things at your show, you get to meet, dignitaries, regulators, companies that are operating, high level folk that are doing and moving and shaking in the different countries all over Europe. And that's incredibly exciting. How long you guys been out there? You guys really got it going on.
So we started so I went to Berlin in 2016 and booked a venue for 2017, and everyone thought I was crazy. And all the Germans were like, Alex, we are so scared for you. $500 a ticket. Germans, we are very, how do you say, frugal people, and they were like, and I was like, well, thank you for your brutal German honesty, because I'm scared too, And then, we just got lucky. Whatever you create your luck. I don't know. I just had this feeling, this feeling basically. And it paid off, because then right before the 217 event, German went medical. They already had some kind of cursory form of medical, but they had changed the laws, and now it was a more robust, liberalized form of medical. And that just popped things off. And then we grew it for now 7 years, and it's turned into the biggest B2B event in Berlin specific. Well, Barcelona would be the second biggest, but Berlin is massive. And it's just kind of a soup to nuts show. For lack of a better term, it's kind of like the MJ Biz of Europe, but just much smaller and more manageable. But what's crazy is that we have people just at the Berlin event from over 80 countries. So this is what's cool, because not only maybe like 35% are attendees are German, then another 35% are from all over greater Europe, from Switzerland, from Holland, from Spain, from Slovenia. And then the other 35% are from America, Canada, Latin America, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia. And we actually have a lot of governments that are represented there at the ICBC also. So that is the cool thing about it, is when it's a truly international event. And so we've helped curate the international ecosystem for cannabis. And Berlin per capita, there's no more international event for cannabis on the planet.
Is Germany becoming the Berlin event we're referring to in April? Is Germany in general becoming like the gateway for like brands and retailers, ancillary auxiliary companies that want to come into the market in Europe?
100%. There's no country that's even really close to Germany at its level right now. You had Switzerland with the CBD thing, and that peaked, and now it's falling off just the way it fell off in America with the prices going down and whatever. You have like the Spain, the coffee shop scene there is tremendous. Portugal, you have the growing for medical to export out of Portugal is big. But Germany is by far the biggest. For one, it has the biggest medical marijuana program in Europe, by far, by far. I can't even think of another country in Europe that has a really, what I would say, a robust medical program. Remember, even in Arizona for a while, medical, I don't know, like 20 years ago was just, or whenever it passed, was the first few years, it generally, I know in Oregon, it was really kind of just 10,000 patients. And then whabam, it catches on. So it caught on. There might be 250,000 patients. There's no uniform national registry for medical marijuana patients in Germany, but we can presume there's around 250,000 patients in Germany. Now, the other reason and that's what runs the market in Europe right now, is the German medical marijuana market, period. However, besides the CBD market, okay, and synthetic cannabinoids, there's all this, but in terms of like uniform, federally legalized, then that's the medical marijuana market in Germany. Now, what's interesting is Germany is about to legalize cannabis. And we're looking at the federal government, the Bundestag, which is basically the Senate of Germany, of the parliament, passing medical marijuana anytime between February 19th and February 23rd.
Adult use marijuana.
Okay, so here, let me explain what it is.
All right.
You can't do adult use fully regulated in Europe right now per the dictates of the European Commission, not to mention the UN drug laws or whatever that we don't really know about in America or Canada or really care about. But the EU, they have to care about, because if you don't adhere to certain EU standards and dictates and decisions, then they can be punitive, right? They can sue you. The EU can sue countries if you don't adhere to their uniform, what are basically federalized dictates. And they've clearly said that if you're gonna legalize cannabis, or you're gonna normalize or modernize cannabis policy, it has to be done under the auspices of health and research. So that's this kind of end around de facto legalization is what Germany's doing right now. And it consists of a few things. And I think this is very important for your audience, because not a lot of people know exactly what's going on in Germany, but there's some really interesting things happening with what they're doing to
Well, don't give away
modernize.
too much, because we want them to come to the conference. I'm thinking to myself, well, Alex has curated dozens and dozens of experts, which he personally knows have all the nuances and details, which he's starting to share right now, that you have to become friends with and learn from in the future. So,
Well, I know
go
we,
ahead, give a
I know
couple
we
more.
have, I know we only have so much time. I and I are Rasta, so we give information, and then vibrationally that always comes back to you, and it's a big bounty.
I love
Generally
how you just
speaking.
start to teach. We're trying to promote your conference and reminding people that this is the go-to place to learn, to meet guys like Alex. But Alex has hundreds of other regulators and specialists there that have details about Germany and Europe and the UN and etc. And that's how you begin your exploration of the European cannabis market.
Yeah, and I just don't think it can be understated what's happening in Germany, because now they're going to have social clubs popping up everywhere. They have full decriminalization, 25 grams legal for anyone, 3 plants in anyone's household. But what's also happening is cannabis is coming off the narcotics list. So, and you might want to click to that rap video I did in this video for this video. So the rap recap that kind of explains it a little bit too. But cannabis is coming off the narcotics list, and that's pretty huge. And that's huge for the current medical marijuana ecosystem right now in Germany, because it makes the process much less cumbersome. And now, so we're expecting a fourfold increase within the next, it could be 2 to 3 years in the German medical marijuana market. And that's massive. Now you have the social clubs. Now you have grows that can be up to 1,500 plants. And then at the end of the year, you're going to have pilot projects, which will be recreational dispensaries then, not under the social club model, but under the pilot project model, much like what Switzerland's doing right now. So Germany's the king of, I mean, and it's kind of ironic that Germany, which we think there's all this order in Germany, is doing this social club model, which many of my, esteemed German professional colleagues are like, this is willy-nilly, you can't regulate, it's like it's nonprofit social clubs. And what is this? For a head like me from Oregon, and how we came up, we pushed the envelope. We had dispensaries before dispensaries were legal. Remember we did it under the donation model, or there's, for the
Yeah.
most part. And so people really pushed the envelopes, and people went to jail, and people got in trouble, and it was intense times. Well, Germany is now doing this legal model of social club, which now anybody in all these jurisdictions, now social clubs are going to pop up. Weed's now legal. You can now smoke it on the street. There's provisions to how close to like school, time, place, and manner. And I think
Mm-hmm.
jurisdictionally, locally, they can control time, place, and manner. Like it's kind of similar to what happened in America, but it's on. And in terms, so what a lot of people don't like this law, who are like the big multinationals who want everything to be completely orderly. They want to consolidate the industry and take over. Well, with a law like this in Germany, that's not going to happen. In fact, it promotes the more mom and pop style of doing business. And so for me, that's how we roll, and we do not,
Yeah.
consolidation is inevitable, but we want to prolong it as much as possible and have the widest swath of the population be able to benefit from it. So Germany's going off, and people will see in just a few weeks. I predict Germany will pass legalization between February 19th and February 23rd.
Well, that's incredible, Alex. And what it sounds to me is a little bit of a maze and a little bit confusing. But in that maze and that confusion, there's opportunity. And it's a matter of coming there and coming. If I was like looking into Europe, I would drop into ICBC, hang out, meet some of the key players, some of the individuals, cruise around Spannabis for a few days, learn a little bit about the culture of cannabis in Europe and all the other people that arrive in Spannabis, and then be prepared to go over to Berlin to get some serious business done with enough of a framework where I can start to navigate the maze, the new world, and determine where the opportunity lies for me, whether I'm somebody who has a lot of cannabis expertise and is looking to take it to another country because I speak German, or a major CEO from a brand or a retail group or an investment person. It sounds like that would be a good plan to find all the people that I need to find to help me navigate these waters. Is that a good analysis?
Yeah, that's a great analysis. If you had the time to go to both events, that would be the perfect strategy or the perfect tactic.
Got time.
Yeah, if you got time. If you go to one of them, Berlin's the event where literally the whole world converges on Berlin. So if you want to save time and resources and just get shit done, have your meetings and meet with Zimbabwe and meet with Lesotho and meet with Australia and meet with Colombia, then Berlin is that event. Yeah, it's all happening right now in Europe, and it's really exciting times, Demitri.
And you gonna? I know you usually have that networking event with Chris Day's group. That always provides a lot of opportunity. Are they going to be in Spain or in Berlin?
Yeah, they will, and they're great partners of ours, and we appreciate them. And so a lot of groups and associations come out to Berlin, and they do their side events during the
Yeah.
ICBC Berlin. So there's a lot of things going on during. These are new. I lost my headphones. I had to use
No,
these
no.
my homies. There's a lot of other side events that are going on during the event.
Alex, we will be out there and we will be bringing whatever knowledge that we can back home in the form of podcasts, grabbing some interviews, hopefully reaching some people that didn't have the opportunity to get out there. But man, I love what you do. I love the conference people. I love the event organizers. They're like the curators of the agora, like the ancient Greek Socrates thing. I mean, you guys are the people that put it all together so that the people come together and figure out what they need to figure out and do what they need to do. So I really, really appreciate you taking your time to join us today. And you have created the perfect scenario for somebody who wants to do business in the European cannabis market and global cannabis market as well. So I look forward to working with you in the future and watching your conferences grow. And it's exciting times, man.
Well, I appreciate you, man. You're a great partner, Demitri. Everything you guys do, you guys are true heads too, and you push the policy forward. So we're glad to have you out there. And yeah, we'll see you at the in Barcelona, and then at the after party with DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill at the
Yes,
Edition.
absolutely, man. It's going to be a good time. What's the website?
Internationalcbc.com. That's internationalcharliebravoCharlie.com. And yeah, we've got tickets for Barcelona. They go up on Berlin will go up on one time on February 7th, and the tickets go up, I think it's February 21st for Barcelona. So right now we're selling tickets. We're probably going to sell out the Barcelona event. So if you do want to secure your place for certain, get your ticket now for Barcelona, and we definitely will sell out the after party with DJ Muggs. So if you want to get your VIP ticket, definitely buy within the next few weeks.
If you aren't sponsoring or exhibiting, you can also go on the website, reach out to Alex. You can look how to sponsor and exhibit. But look, folks, call me and let me explain you how do you get to Spain and Berlin easily and inexpensively. I mean, you can for $1,000, $3,000, depending on how you roll, you can do all your business development per show. Alex, you're probably saying that's too little, but you have no idea how I know how to save money when traveling. So it's a
Well, my
no-brainer.
parents took me to Europe when I was a kid on that. What was that book? Was it Arthur Frommer? Europe on it. It started in Europe on $5 a day.
Yeah. Now,
So
it's a misconception that Europe costs a lot of money. And just for, a couple $1,000 and a week's worth of time, you're doing massive business development. So don't feel overwhelmed by that. I've been going to Europe like 7 or 8 times in the last like 5 or 6 years. And my knowledge of the cannabis industry and the players and what's happening has grown exponentially. And it's thanks to guys like you, Alex, that make it happen. So I appreciate that.
love it, brother. Yeah, people are surprised how sophisticated the industry actually is in Europe.
Yeah. And how easy you make it to explore. So we will
Appreciate
see you
bro.
March 14th.
Indeed, Demitri. Indeed, brother.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Alex.
Okay, man. I'll see you soon. Peace.
And cut.
All right, Alex, that was perfect.
Cool, dude. Okay, thanks, man.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
Puts a little personal touch to our otherwise, boring emails.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's great, man. Fucking yeah. So you need anything, just let me know, Demitri. Okay, if you want to interview any other speakers or whoever, or DJ Muggs or whatever the fuck, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk to the team today about conferences, and we'll see what we can do to help you more. And who do you work best with? Maybe Rita?
Whoever. Destiny's my favorite.
Destiny. Okay, I'll have Destiny communicate with you directly, and we'll see what we can do. All three, Larissa, Destiny.
They're
Rita.
all amazing. They're all
Yeah.
amazing. They're all amazing. They're all amazing.
Well,
Destiny just happens to be my favorite.
they have a high degree of independence to do whatever they want to. So they all kind of run point on different conferences. But Destiny and Larissa will be at ICBC Cannabis with me. And we're trying to work out in the budget, getting to, Rita for sure, 1 or 2 other individuals. We're trying to work out the budget, getting to ICBC as a team in Berlin, all of us. But obviously that's, $700 a flight and then hotels and stuff. But we do it on the cheap. So we'll figure it out.
It adds up. It adds up. Okay. Whatever you need, just let me know, Demitri. All right. Big up.
All right.
Big up. Big up. Big up. Big up. Big up, Eric. Big up.
All right, man.
All right, brother. One love.